Hey, hey, teach me how to do it, hey.
Hey foodies, welcome to Food It Forward. Hope you guys are doing well. Today we're going to keep it pretty simple. Recently we got a request to show some slow cooker recipes. So slow cooker recipes are great because it's easy. It's kind of a one-pot meal, kind of set it and forget it kind of deal. What we're doing today, we're going to do a Cajun chicken pasta. So I want to kind of cover our ingredients with you. What you guys see here in front of me, I have about 2 large chicken breasts, about 1.5 pounds. I have that chopped up into about 1/2 inch to 1 inch size cube pieces. I have here roasted red bell peppers, and these you can find just in a jar. I got these from Whole Foods. These are organic, but if you don't have, or if you can't find roasted red bell peppers, you can just slice up some regular red bell peppers. I have here some diced tomatoes. I'm using here the fire roasted diced tomatoes. Again, if you can't find that, regular diced tomatoes would work, or fresh tomatoes that you dice up. What we have here for our sauce for the Cajun chicken pasta, we are going to do a homemade Alfredo sauce. Again, it's going to be really easy because it's one pot, slow cooker cooking. I have 1 package of cream cheese. I have a cup of whole milk, and I also have Parmigiano Reggiano cheese. Now, Parmigiano Reggiano is pretty pricey, so this goes for about 20 pounds or so for a pound. And you need about 1/2 cup of this shredded. So if you want to go for just regular Parmesan cheese, you know, that's local and not the Parmigiano Reggiano, you can probably buy that for about 1/2 the price. It's still going to give you about the same flavor, or the old school Parmesan cheese that you find, you know, in the grocery store for like $2, 1/2 cup of this. Either way works. You're going to get the same idea. If you want to splurge, get the Parmigiano Reggiano. I recommend it. Now, what we're going to do, once it was slow cooking, guys, you always want to brown up your proteins first before you throw it in the slow cooker. If you're really at a pinch for time, let's say you're doing this right before work, you know, you could skip that portion, but you're really going to miss out on a layer of flavor. So whether it's this recipe or any other recipe, I recommend that you slightly brown your proteins, whether it's chicken or beef or pork, whatever it is. Brown that first before you throw it in the slow cooker, and you're going to get a large amount of flavor. So these are our initial ingredients. We're also going to be using 1 can of chicken stock or chicken broth, and we're also going to be using about 4 tablespoons of butter, and you'll see how we got that going together too. So this right here, this is what kind of makes it the Cajun chicken pasta. Now, you can buy a pre-made Cajun seasoning. They come in all sorts and all kinds of brands, or if you have the ingredients at home, you can make your own. How I make my Cajun seasoning is equal parts. So if you're doing 1 teaspoon, use 1 teaspoon of each of the seasoning. Equal parts of garlic powder, onion powder, chili powder, ground red pepper or cayenne pepper, black pepper, paprika, and did I say chili powder already? And chili powder. So I have equal parts of that. I'm going to use that to season up our chicken. I'm going to brown this up real quick, and then we'll kind of throw everything together, and you'll see what that looks like. Alright guys, so as you see here, this pan is smoking hot. You want to, when you're browning your meat for the slow cooker, again, you're not cooking it, you're just going to brown it real quick, so you want a high heat right here. And then you're going to just grab a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. About a tablespoon or so should be fine. And then we're going to grab our, let me move this around a little bit. We'll throw our chicken in there. And then we'll throw our Cajun seasoning on the chicken. And again, this is not cooking it all the way through. We're just getting a quick brown for the flavor. and grab our Cajun seasoning. Don't forget to add a little bit of salt to season this up as well. This should be probably about two to 3 minutes max, and then we'll be able to push everything together. All right, we are back. We have browned our meat. Let me actually. So I went ahead and threw it already in here. Don't worry about it, you know, if you feel like it looks like it's over seasoned because of the Cajun seasoning. Don't worry about that. Remember, you're creating a sauce, so some of that flavor and that seasoning is going to dissipate into the Alfredo sauce that we're making. So I'm just going to throw everything else, all of the rest of our ingredients together here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take our milk, toss that in there. I'm going to take our fire roasted diced tomatoes, toss that in there. Our roasted bell peppers, again, as you see there, I cut those into strips, tossing that in there. Let's see here. We have our Parmigiano Reggiano. One thing too, we were talking about earlier about how expensive Parmigiano Reggiano is. So for this sauce, if you want to go ahead and just use the regular old grated, you know, Parmesan cheese that you find at the store, I would say use that for the sauce, but then maybe top it the pasta once you're done with the good stuff, the Parmigiano Reggiano. That'll probably save you some money in the long run. So I'm going to throw that in here. That's again half a cup Parmesan cheese. And then for the creamy consistency, we're doing 1 whole package of cream cheese. If you want to lighten that up, feel free to get, you know, low-fat cream cheese to lighten that up. You can use 1% or 2% milk to lighten up the sauce, you know, if you're watching your diet. So now one other thing I'm going to add to this so we can cover this up is 1 can. Let me see if I got one here. Let's see here. I'm going to add about 2 cups of chicken stock. So 2 cups of chicken stock in here, and that's about 1 can. And what we'll do is we'll cover this on high for 4 hours. Now, one thing I'd recommend, if maybe you're doing this for dinner and you know you want to set this up before work, a couple of things you can do is you can put all the ingredients in there, throw it in the refrigerator overnight, and then in the morning before you go to work, you can put it in the crock pot, plug it in, and then what I would do if you're doing, you know, an 8-hour day at work, I would just put it on low, cover it. You should be good to go. If you're just going out for an afternoon, you can cut that time in half, put it on high for 4 hours. Either way, you're going to end up with a good result. So just kind of play it by ear. If you have, you know, if you want to do this, want this cooking while you're at work, set it on low for 8 hours, 6 to 8 hours if you have a timer. And then if you have time, if you're just going out, you know, quick errands or so, set it on high for 4 hours and you should be good to go. So again, topping this with 2 cups of chicken stock or chicken broth, and then we'll check back in a few hours. All right, foodies, so here we are, the finished product. It's been hours. So again, if you set it for 3 to 4 hours, it'll be fine. On high, on low, 6 to 8 hours, you should be good. So here is the finished product. Hopefully you guys can see that. Cajun chicken pasta. I use bow tie. Again, when you're doing your pasta, you want to salt the water while it's boiling, and kind of think of, you know, how salty the sea is. That's probably about as much salt as you want to put in the water. Another thing too, this is going to serve about 4 to 6. So if you have leftovers, one thing I always do is you want to dish up, unless you know for sure that you're not going to have leftovers, you want to separately dish up each plate. So when I go to store this, I'm going to have the noodles and the sauce separate from each other, so when I warm it up, then I can toss it back together. And you're going to find that you're going to get a better consistency for leftovers because the sauce isn't going to absorb into the pasta. So I recommend doing that with all your pasta dishes. If there's leftovers, store them separately, pasta in one container, sauce in the other. So this is it, guys. This is really spicy. You can always tone down the recipes to your liking and change different things up. Try this recipe out if you like it. As always, food it forward. Until next time, Food It Forward signing out. Thanks.